Hello, 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 and welcome to Kaylin's Corner. I'm your host, Kaylin, and this is my corner of the internet, where I talk about anything and everything that comes to mind. Thank you for joining me, and I hope this finds you well. I have the biggest smile on my face right now as I'm saying that because I haven't said the intro to my podcast in so long. I'm so excited to be recording right now. And you would think, like, oh, you're excited now, but where have you been the last few months? Listen, I've actually been doing a lot, and I'm gonna update you. But originally, when I stepped away from my podcast, it was because I felt like I didn't have the quiet time or the space to record. And low key, I still don't, but I just happen to have some quiet time right now. So I'm taking the time to yap a little bit. But it just really wasn't working out how I wanted it to, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a break. I'm just gonna run away and not say anything, and for that I'm sorry. I should have at least did like a little, hey guys, so I'm gonna step away. At least communicate a little bit, you know what I mean? Because it's very hypocritical of me to just not communicate when I don't like when people don't communicate with me. So I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do better. I'm also trying to roll with the punches better. I feel like this is something that I've been working on for a long time, but you got to get the ball rolling a little bit. And it's an uphill battle, it's ongoing. We're constantly learning in this life. So I try to give myself grace. I'm saying this aloud because I feel like I'm very quick to bring up counterpoints when I know that there's another side. There's two sides to every coin, but I'm very quick to bring up the negative ones first. And I'm trying to steer away from that. I feel like I can do a really good job when I'm talking with someone else, but if it's just me, I'll bring up the negative points first. And I can think of the positive points eventually. Don't get me wrong. However, I do find it I do find that I say the negative points before I say the positive points. Maybe even multiple negative points at that. But it's like I said, it's a work in progress. We're trying to get better every day. 1% better every day. And some days are harder than others. Some days are easier than others. Some days you can just wake up and be like, okay, this is on my list and I'm gonna do it. And other days you're like, this is on my list, but I cannot bring myself to do any of it. And that's okay. It happens. We all have those days, but you gotta remember your goal. You gotta remember the goal. It helps to keep you going. And I feel like this is a little bit of a side tangent. I don't even know. Well, I know it all makes sense because my rambles kind of do. Sometimes I end up going and having a full circle moment anyway, but very quick to cut myself off. See, with the negativity, we're working on it. We're working on it. I say all this to say that I'm just a human going through life for the first time, and I'm working on my communication skills a bit more. I do think that the podcast is helping me with that because sometimes I feel like I have these ultimate brain rot moments in real life when I'm trying to have a conversation, but the words just aren't wording in that moment. But sometimes when I'm here yapping by myself, I feel like I can articulate myself really well. It it depends on the moment though, of course, because it's one side or the other. Sometimes I can articulate my sentences better than I even planned out in my head. Like some my brain moves so fast sometimes that I'll have the sentence planned, but then I'll switch up the sentence as I'm saying it aloud using different vocabulary, and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even realize I had that in me." Okay, brownie point for me. Thank you. Or at least I see it. So that's why sometimes when I'm yapping on here, I'll be quick to Google or look up a word that I use because I'm like, did I even use that right? Yeah, because I like to be correct. Sometimes I just forget, and it happens. The train of thought does leave the station very frequently, and sometimes it can be a little frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, but anyway, uh, we're rolling with the punches the best that we can. You know how it is, or maybe you don't. This is me doing my best to explain that for you because um, not everything is a universal experience. And even if you get that explanation from someone who has experienced it, doesn't mean that you fully grasp and understand what it was like to experience it. Hmm. I feel like that sounded kind of random, but I maybe that's just because I felt like I sounded a little uncertain when I was saying it. Ah, yeah, no, I don't know. Whatever. Welcome to the show. It's Kaylin's Corner. I'm yapping, I'm rambling. If you're just stumbled upon me for the first time, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. I hope that you enjoy your time here. This is a safe space for you always. Just be kind to yourself and others, is all I ask. Well, I mean, I feel like being kind kind of encompasses a lot. Like, if you're kind, then. Ooh, wait a minute. But you can be kind and. Can you be kind and still be a dickhead? No, because you're kind. You can also kind of be a dickhead. Ah, similar? Perhaps. I right now is a moment that I wish there was someone else in here so that way they can just start talking instead of me. Cause I listen, I'm a yapper, but sometimes I be saying things and I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know how to back them up, but it's true. Sometimes I just be saying stuff and I don't know how to back them up. Why am I gonna lie? There's no point in that. And I feel like you can hear it too, But not everyone has those like the detector for social cues and context clues. This is actually something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and I just wasn't sure how to articulate it. But shout out to my brain for figuring it out now. Not everyone picks up on social cues and context clues, and as someone who does, and I feel like can be really who finds it really easy to do so, it can be a little bit frustrating because it's like, what do you mean you don't understand this? Have you not been paying attention? But then it's like, not everyone pays attention to all those other details for you to have been able to pick that up, you know? And in my brain right now, it's kind of relating to how I'm able to predict what's going to happen in movies because I'm constantly looking at the little details of things and adding things up in my head before I even know for sure that it's possible. You know what I mean? Is the math mathing right now? I hope the math is mathing because sometimes, like I said, I just be yapping and I don't know if it makes sense. I don't have anyone else here with me to affirm me or not. But if you know, you know, and if you don't, I'm sorry. Let me know so that way I can try to better articulate it for you if I can even understand myself. No, I'm kidding. Sometimes though, I will say I'll look back on the things that I've said and I'm like, where was I coming from? Where was my mind in that moment? Because right now it's not making sense. But then again, isn't that a good thing? Isn't that like a sign of growth? Like if you don't cringe at your past self, that means you're not growing. Because just because you think something is okay now doesn't mean that it actually is. But you don't know that it's not okay until you are taught otherwise, right? Yeah, I don't know. Like, damn. Wait, I was saying something before all of this. I was talking about social cues and context clues. Oh yeah, and I started talking about the movie thing. Anyway, I'm gonna bring it back to the social cues and context clues thing because sometimes, okay, I'm saying this as someone can pick up on who feels like they can pick up on social cues and context clues easily, and I don't mean this in like a egotistical kind of way. I just feel like sometimes things are a little obvious, and I when I go to talk about them with someone else, they didn't put two and two together. I'm like, oh, this just might be one of those things that I do because I'm a little bit more observant than I would care to admit. But sometimes I wonder if people really are just pretending that they didn't pick up on these social cues and context clues. Or maybe they did, like, they interacted with the social cue or context clue, but they just didn't know how to interpret it, or they didn't interpret it as a social cue because it's not a social cue in their brain. In that case, you would have to teach them, like, hey, if people are saying things like this usually means that. I guess it's just a matter of knowing. I put myself in such a deep thought. This isn't what I was trying to talk about at all. But this is very much podcast episode. I actually listened to the last podcast episode that I uploaded a couple weeks ago because I've been in the process of attempting to record and upload something for a while now, but that's besides the point. Because I wanted to see like where my viewers were kind of left off, like what was going on in my life the last time that I uploaded a podcast episode. And boy, do I have updates because I last uploaded in March. Granted, it's been a little bit since I last listened to it, but it's my life. I'm sure I can remember where I left off for a good amount of it. Sometimes I get my own timeline mixed up though, so let's take it easy on me. But I have, Sorry, I gotta. I need to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because your girl be getting disturbed sometimes a little too easily. Oh, what was I saying? I have. Damn, girl, what happened to you? I don't know. I think I was gonna say something along the lines of it's been a while since. Oh, I think I was gonna say I have listened to the episode like a couple of weeks ago, so it's not so fresh on my mind what I was saying. Not that I, not that any of that is gonna be fresh on anyone's mind, really, because it's been months. But anyway, I have so many experiences I want to share. I kind of want to share them in chronological order, but I think I'm just gonna have them. I think I'm just gonna share them in the order that I have typed out here because that way I'll remember that I actually spoke about it. So I don't know. I genuinely cannot remember if I've shared this online or not, but I have never been on a plane. I said that so questionably, like I don't know if it's true. It's true. Well, that's not true actually. I've never been on a big plane ride. I've been on like a small. I don't even know what they're called, but I've taken like a little plane ride from the coast of Cape Cod to the island of Nantucket. But it wasn't. It's not like a big like American Airlines plane. You know what I mean? I went on a big I went on a big plane for the first time and I went all the way across the country to the other side of the United States and I visited Washington State. Oh my goodness. It was so much fun. I was there for 5 days total. And traveling honestly did not beat me up as bad as I thought it was going to. Mind you, the whole it's such an experience for me. I didn't plan to, but the weekend was performing at Gillette Stadium. So, my friend who I was going on vacation with asked if I wanted to go, and I could not resist. It's like it sure it's the night before we're supposed to fly out and we were flying out at like 6 it was early, babe, but crack of dawn we saw the sunrise. I think that says enough. This was back in June. Even sorry, I was thinking about how much of a gap that is between the last podcast episode that I uploaded and what I'm talking about, but I said that I was going to talk about it in the order I have written down and not in chronological order. So, mm, that's. Oh my goodness, I have so much to share. Wait, sorry, I'm getting excited now because I just realized all the things in my brain that I don't have written down. Anyway, we went and saw the weekend before flying out to Washington State, which honestly was so exciting. And I thought that because I went to the concert was amazing, by the way. So fun. He did forget some of his lyrics, although I'm not surprised. But it was such a fun time. The concert was amazing. And I surprisingly didn't upload any TikToks. I really haven't shared many of my concert experiences. I have been a little bit active on the TikTok. If you don't follow me on there, then it is linked in the description if you'd like to keep up with things that aren't just me yapping because I do post other things on there as well. But yes, the concert was so much fun. I had an amazing time. The traffic was crazy. There was a lot of people there, but I did I did also go to another oh sorry. I went to another concert at Gillette Stadium, which was earlier. This was back in May. I went and saw Kendrick Lamar and SZA, and oh my god, the trauma. Sorry. The Anytime I think about that concert, the first thing I think about is how I went with my mini backpack because I figured it's small, I'd be okay to get in. But when we were approaching the metal detectors, there was a worker yelling, "Clear bags or no bags?" And it made my heart jump because I did not have a clear mini backpack. I had a black mini backpack. And then she started yelling, "You have three options. You can put it in the car, put it in a locker, or throw it away." And I Ubered there. There's no putting it in the car. I got a lot of things on me. I'm not throwing this backpack away. Where are the lockers? Girl, it was a hop, skip, and a jump across this motherfucking river. Not actually. But it was so far away. When I tell you we ran from one side of the venue all the way around to the other. We were sprinting through the parking lot, sprinting, like just about ready to ask for one of the workers to give us a ride on the go kart because that shit was far as fuck. And I didn't want to miss the show. We were already very close for time. And we were approaching, we were running through the parking lot, and you could hear them starting to perform, and I was literally screaming, hollering because I didn't want to miss the show. But eventually we got there. We found the locker place. It was like $20 to put your freaking bag in the locker. And by the time that I got there, they didn't even have lockers. They didn't have any more lockers. So they put a zip tie on my bag with a number and gave me the other half so I can collect my bag at the end. I mean, all my stuff was there, fine, safe and sound. Awesome. Thank you for holding on to it, but bruh. Yeah, so anytime I think about that concert specifically, I think about that experience. But the Kendrick Lamar and SZA concert itself was phenomenal. And it wasn't like SZA performed first and then Kendrick. They were alternating and they were also performing together because they do have some songs together. So it was awesome. The screen, the visuals, the outfit changes, the background dancers, everything. It was amazing. I would totally go see them again. It was such an amazing experience. And I did record a good amount of it. I'm pretty sure I recorded everything, actually. Everything that I could, I recorded. That's why my phone is almost full. And I have a terabyte of storage on my phone. But anyway, don't come for me. That's besides the point. I was talking about something else. I was supposed to talk about my Washington trip, and I have not said a single word about it. Besides that, it was my first trip across the country on a plane, on a big plane. Anyway, yes, that's what I was talking about. I thought that I was gonna be a little bit beat because I only slept for like an hour between the concert and to get up and get ready to go to the airport for my flight. And I had a window seat, and since it was my first time on a big plane in a long time at that, because yes, I said I've ridden and I've been in. We were inside the plane. I've been in like little tiny. I don't know what to call them. Like I don't want to like a little private plane esque. It was so small from what I remember. Definitely not the same size as the plane that I went on, for sure. But um, I got a window seat because I wanted to look at the clouds. If you know me, you know I love clouds. They're so beautiful, and I do want to go skydiving one day. I want to skydive through some clouds. That sounds so cool, so fun. Anyway, back to the main point. Since I exerted so much energy at the concert and only slept for an hour, I thought that I would have a treacherous plane ride over. But honestly, it wasn't bad. I did have a layover, so the first flight wasn't too bad. I was up the whole time looking at the window. I did take some pictures, but the clouds weren't like super big and fluffy. They weren't like cumulus clouds, I believe is what they're called. You would think with how much I love clouds, I would know what they're called, but genuinely never took the time to do that. Anyway, I was up the whole time for the first one. The second one, I was sat in the middle in between two strangers and I didn't know what to do with myself, so I put myself to sleep. But towards the end, they did open up the window, and I was able to get a beautiful photo of Mount Rainier through the window. Just a couple of them. I took so many pictures while I was away. I I made a folder to share with my friend that I went on my trip with, and it's over 1,000 pictures. But we were only away for like 5 days, so I think that says all I need to say. I've been telling myself that I need to go through my pictures and clean them out and delete some. And I have. That's what I was doing on my plane ride back, but I didn't fully go through. So, womp, womp, womp. Well, that's a womp, womp, womp for me. I'm only hurting myself because, like I said, my phone is almost full. But I have so many pictures, and I did post some actually. I posted the pictures of my plane ride on my photography Instagram account if you are interested. That will also be linked in the description below. But yes, we did so many fun things. We went on some hikes, treacherous, but so worth the view. It was beautiful. And we got to try so much amazing, delicious food. The food out there is really good. And the portions, ginormous. Ginormous. The roads are a little crazy, at least in comparison to Rhode Island. I just in terms of size, like there's so many more lanes. The highway's a little crazier. So many cars on the road. Like you think there's a lot here, Bible, 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 and you won't be moving. Like the traffic does go crazy if you get caught in it. But I feel like that's anywhere. Traffic is just traffic. It's just a different scene that you get stuck in. I guess you can say. But it was fun. I had such an amazing time, and I cannot wait to go back because I will be going back. I want to go back to Washington so I can go hike Mount Rainier because Mount Rainier is so beautiful. And I, after coming back home, well, actually, this is more so of a recent development, but still, the statement stands true. After coming back home, I've been getting TikToks of people hiking Mount Rainier and all the wildflowers and the waterfall and the snow caps, the wild animals. It looks gorge. But I am so happy that I went when I did because I was a little worried about what the weather might look like considering Washington is very rainy. But I did go in the summertime, so it wasn't the big rainy season. Actually, we didn't even experience any rain. Actually, we got some droplets here and there, but it wasn't rainy like for an entire day that we were there, which was awesome because we were able to spend a lot of time outside doing sightseeing and hiking. It was awesome. It was so much fun. I'm really glad that I went. And I can't wait to go again and experience new things in Washington. Uh, yeah, I also do want to go to other states. There's part of me that wants to go and visit every single state in the U.S. at least once. If it's for like a day, a weekend, a week, a couple of days, I just want to visit every single one, a little piece of it, slowly but surely, because to experience every little nook and cranny would be quite the quite the challenge, quite the experience. I'd be up for it. Could be a little dangerous, but fun. But fun still. Mm. Yes. What else did I do that I was there? I also went to a botanical garden. I took so many pictures of flowers and plants. I have so much to share. I don't understand why it's taking me so long to do so. I have a little bit of a sharing problem, it seems. I tend to be greedy with my work and the things that I do for some reason. But it's kind of crazy because when you see me, like, I'm just how I am now, I'm a yapper. I can tell you anything and everything once you get the ball rolling, that is. I'm just not one to kind of cough it up, so to speak. Maybe it's because I think of it in like a cough it up mentality, but I don't know what it is with me and sharing lately. I used to share so much. I feel like I very much grew up on the internet, actually. And there are so many little tidbits of myself that I shared with the internet over the years. I don't know what happened to me that I kind of regressed, so to speak, in my endeavors on the internet. I don't know if that was a good way to phrase it or not, but I'll rock with it. I'll rock with it for now. Yeah. But that trip was so fun. So many pictures to share. So many experiences to share. Speaking of experiences, I have more concerts to talk about because I've been to so many. Not even in like a damn. I'm not trying to like rub it in your face or anything. But I've been to more concerts this year than I have in my entire concert going life. I've been to a handful of concerts. A little bit more than a handful of concerts, but more than half of those concerts are accumulation from this year. I've spoken about the Wallows concert. That was the first concert that I went to this year. I also saw Kendrick Lamar and SZA. That was back in May. Then I saw The Weekend in June before my trip. Then I saw Hosier after my trip. Hosier and Gigi Perez. Love. It was the vibes were phenomenal. And then I saw Tyler the Creator twice in July. I saw him when he came to TD Garden both days. Show so nice. I had to see it twice. I would have seen Hosier twice if I could too though. But I had tickets for the second day and not the first. If I was able to get my hands on some tickets for the first night, I would have gone to the first night too. But it's okay. I will see him again because that is another like it's just so it's like he's serenading you with his voice. Very much so. Very much so. The vibes were amazing. Things so good you want to experience again. A Hosier concert and Tyler the Creator. I had tickets for him and I thought that I had bought them for the second night, but they were actually for the first. And so when I realized that, I was like, want to go again? And so we did. I posted some clips of the Tyler Creator concert on my TikTok if you are interested. I also did post a little bit of a photo slash video dump of the concert on my Instagram, on my main Instagram at that. It's my first post in. It's like my first more personal post in years because I haven't posted a selfie in a while. I mean, I did post the edit that I did of myself without eyebrows earlier this year in January, back when I kind of relaunched my podcast for the year, but it didn't feel so, I don't know, like personal or anything. So, me sharing my concert experience a little bit feels a bit more personal. I posted some videos. Sorry, I'm feeling a little bit flustered. I don't know what's going on. I also posted some videos. Little Yachty was an opener for Tyler. Paris, Texas was also an opener, but we did miss their performance, I'm afraid. Well, actually, no. For the first night, we saw them a little bit. We saw them for their last song. By the time we got through there and found our seats, we were there for the last song. But for the second night, we missed them completely, I'm afraid. But I did post some clips that I got. Some clips of Tyler, and there's more on my TikTok if you are interested. I sorry. I'm sorry. I started going through my Instagram. I was like, not me fact checking myself while I'm yapping, as if I don't know that I actually posted that. But yes, the show was so nice. I had to see it twice, and he released "Don't Tap the Glass." Don't tap the glass. Sorry. And I have not stopped listening to it since. I'm pretty sure I've listened to the album at least once every single day because it's that good. Although, you know what? I haven't listened to it the last couple of days. So, I don't know. Well, I also haven't been to the gym in the last couple of days. So, that's another new development. I started going to the gym. I've only been going for about a month or so. And I've really been slacking these last few days, not gonna lie. So I'm not in my best shape. But today's a new day, so we'll do better. I still have time. It's okay. I've been listening to Don't Tap the Glass as like my cardio album, I guess you could say. I use it to help me warm up, and then I kind of just listen to whatever song Spotify suggests to me randomly afterwards. Like since it's such a like a dancey album, it helps me move and groove a little bit. I be on that stairmaster dancing a little bit. Don't play with me, baby. I be getting a little bit shy though. I'm like, don't look at me, but also like this song is so good. What do you like sugar on my tongue? That music video was crazy. Did you see it? I enjoyed it, but I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. It wasn't what I saw. But I'm not mad about it. I'm just like things he did that. Did he come up with that on his own, or were there other people giving their ideas as well? I'm curious. But I like it Picasso. I like the way he thinks sometimes. You know, it be like that. But yes, I've been using that album as a way to kind of hype me up while I'm at the gym. And it works. It does its thing. It's a little bit saddening though because it's only 28 minutes long, but it's good because it helps me with my time management a little bit more. So, say if I decide to actually just put the album on loop and I've been through the album twice. I've been here for an hour. OMG. Yeah, and also on just a regular day because I've had my days where I'm like, this album is so fucking fire. I don't want to listen to anything else, and I'll put that shit on loop. Excuse me. Burp for confirmation. And yeah, I'm like, oh shit, I listened to this album like 4 times. Wait, what do you mean it's 6 o'clock? How many times have I listened to this album? Yeah, it's been like that. But I love it though. What can I say? I like what I like. But I say all that to say, I would love to see him perform that album live. Oh, what I would give to have been at that listening party. Or what I would give to go to a listening party. Fuck. Because that would just be so fun. It's such a dancey album, and I know a lot of the lyrics now because I've listened to it a lot. I'm not gonna say I know all the lyrics because even though my ego wants me to say that, I know that there are parts that I'd be like, girl, don't put me. Uh, you would think that with it only being 20. See, that's my. I don't know why I'm so mean to myself. I'm talking about you would think that listening to a 28-minute long album 150 times that you would know all the lyrics by now. Shut up. I like to enjoy things. I don't mean I gotta memorize them word for word, bar for bar. Sometimes I do. If there was a song that I had to sing word for word, bar for bar right now, though, I think it would probably be ooh, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Either that one or Ring Ring Ring. They're back to back. They're bangers. They're so good. Actually, Ring 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 was the last song I was listening to. I just opened up Spotify so I could look at the album. Uh, and Ring 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 was the last song I was listening to. But I think I know all the lyrics. Just stop playing with me. I think. I don't know. I don't know. Perhaps. But yes, such a phenomenal album, such a phenomenal concert. I have shared clips. There's part of me that wants to just go say fuck it and post the entire concert on my TikTok. But then there's parts of me that's like, don't don't do that. I was singing, so you can hear me singing in the clips if I knew the lyrics and I felt like singing them. Well, if I knew the lyrics, I sung them. So I'm not even gonna try to. I'm not even gonna try to be nonchalant about that. I was screaming, I was yelling, I was wooing with the crowd, baby. I was having the time of my life. It was so much fun, such an amazing experience. I hope to see Tyler the Creator live again. I will see Tyler the Creator live again, but what era will it be? Only time will tell, and we shall see. Bars. But more exciting news, guys. More exciting news. Guess who got their license? I did. I got it back in June when I did my road test. But I'm so proud of myself for having done so. If you've listened to the first episode, I was low key trauma dumping. I haven't listened to it in a long time, but from what I remember, I was sitting in the woods first of all, just yapping, and then I started talking about like my trauma and me not driving and being afraid of driving because I was in an accident when I was younger. I believe I was like 6 or 7. Yeah, 6 or 7 when it happened. And so that low key set me back. And I didn't realize it until my mom brought it up. I don't remember if I said this word for word, bar for bar in that episode, but I do remember me trauma dumping about it. So this is me in the future reiterating, but maybe explaining it a little further, delving a little bit deeper. uh, yeah, I didn't realize that's what low key held me back from actually getting my license for a little bit, and it wasn't until I sat with it and worked through it a little bit that I decided, like, no, I'm not gonna let this hold me back. I'm gonna do the thing. And so I started practicing. Well, I I got my permit. I started practicing driving, and I have my license now. I have been driving a little bit. I mean, honestly, not much more than I was before. But I have driven myself to the gym, there and back in the dark, on my own, with detours at that. So I've been practicing my driving because while I may be a licensed driver, I don't necessarily feel like a driver. But I also feel like that's partly because I don't have my own car yet. Perhaps once I have my own vehicle to take me places that, why am I talking like this? Perhaps once I have my own car to navigate myself in, I'll feel like a real driver. But right now, I mean, I'm still gonna be in my practicing era, but I'll feel a little bit more comfortable and not having to worry about somebody else's stuff. I don't like using other people's stuff. I like having my own things. So that's that's that on that, really. But I all brought that up to say that I'm proud of myself for having being able to grow and conquer a fear, really, because it took a lot. Driving is scary. It's still very scary. Like, people get too impatient. They have their road rage. They're on a race to go nowhere faster because they feel like they're running out of time or whatever. I feel like it's best to go at your own pace. It's better to get there safe than to rush there and be hurt. Sure, you might be able to rush there and be fine, but or you think you're rushing there and being fine, but you're rushing there and you're hurting someone else along the way. You might not be able to see it. It may not impact you directly, but there are other people on the road. You can't be selfish. There are other people. There are other cars, pedestrians, animals. We gotta be considerate of those around us. Be considerate of yourself and those around you. It's better to be late than dead. Trying to rush. That seems like very dramatic, but also not wrong. Like, am I lying? I don't think I'm lying. I wouldn't say that I'm lying. Mm. Where was I going with this? I was saying that I'm proud of myself for getting my license because it was quite the fear for me to overcome. I'm 25! And it took me this long to get my license when other people were literally getting them in high school. So, yeah, that trauma sticks with you for a long time. Don't try to don't try to sweep it under the rug, baby. Tackle it head on, because it just might fester up for way longer than you think. I don't know who needed to hear that, but I hope that message is sitting clear with you. Yeah. But I feel like I sound so like nonchalant, so bleak, so blah while I'm saying this. But I really am happy for myself. I really am proud of myself. Now it's a matter of moving on to the next thing, getting my own car and doing all the things that come with that. So it's exciting because it's something new to look forward to, something new to experience, something new to learn. Actually, I did buy a book and I gotta read it slash listen to it, but I'll get there. I'll get there. It's a work in progress. But that's pretty much been me lately. I feel like I just about summed up the things that have been going on with me. How are you? There's the world I feel like is in shambles right now. And I try to focus on the better things that are happening, whether that's with me personally or something locally, globally, which honestly feels like it's harder and harder to find, but it's out there. It's out there. Maybe that's something that I should do. I should spread something. I should spread good news to help keep up the high hopes. It's Good News Friday. Good News Friday? It's like Good Friday, but with news. Perhaps. It's an idea. I'm saying these things as if I have someone to give me direct feedback. I ain't got no one here to give me direct feedback. Can you hear me typing? Good news, inspiring positive stories. Good News Network. Goodnewsnetwork.org. Okay. Only good news daily. Now, if you don't want to, like, how you say, poison ourselves. Well, can you poison yourself with good news? Well, anything in excess is bad. Even water. Because if you only ever consume the good things, then something bad happens and it'll feel devastating. There's got to be a little bit of balance. That's why when there's so much bad news being thrown at us, bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news, that any little bit of good news is like, hooray! Good news! And that's why more bad news is like, oh, just more bad news. Because the ratio of bad news to good news is so disproportionate that any little drop of good news is fantastic news, the most amazing news, and every bit of bad news just feels like another bit of sand going through the hourglass. Was that a bad analogy? I don't know. Like, just piling up. It see, now I'm starting to think of the ratio of good news to bad news as an hourglass, and all the good news is just turning into bad news to the bottom portion of the hourglass. That's what it's feeling like, and eventually we'll just be all filled with bad news. This thing is not loading. It's taking forever to load. What the freak? Uh oh, uh oh, uh oh, uh oh. Mm mm mm. Uh oh, uh oh. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now. When I hear that song, I think about that one movie with Queen Latifah and the bike and the taxi. Is it? I don't know. Oh, damn it. Is the movie called like Taxi Cab or something? That was a movie that. Oh, it's just called. Wait a minute. Jimmy Fallon is in the. No wonder I am the way that I am. I gotta rewatch this movie because it's been a minute. Oh my goodness. What year? 2004? Yeah. This was one of the movies that I watched on repeat as a kid because we had it on DVD. So it was just one of those movies that I watched a lot. I didn't realize that Jimmy Fallon is in that movie. No wonder I am the way that I am. Like sometimes I sometimes when I reminisce on my childhood and I think about the media that I consumed as a kid, it reminds me of why I am the way that I am. Like I grew up watching Jimmy Fallon and Mike Myers. Hello, is this thing finally loading? Good lord. I think maybe it's time for a Wi-Fi upgrade or something because this is taking forever. What? Who else did I watch? Now I'm starting to blank. But or like even the old Cartoon Network shows like Chowder and Flapjack and Courage the Cowardly Dog, Scooby Doo, Teen Titans, like, not just movie, but all the media that I would consume helps to make me the person that I am. That goes with anybody, and that's why no two people are the same. That's why it's so cool interacting with other people because it's like, what made you this way? There are so many little things. You are a collection of the things that you love. Did you know that humans are kind we're kind of mimics by nature? So we learn through other people and our environment around us. So we end up recreating what we see and what we experience based on based on our experience and our relations with those things, if that makes sense. I lost myself when I was saying that. I hope I didn't lose you too. There's still a little bit like there are some things that I've seen other people to do. Ugh, excuse me. There are things that I've seen other people do, or that I've seen on a show, or I've seen on a in a movie or in a video somewhere, and I decide to try it out for myself, and I enjoy it. I like it. I love it so much that I continue that practice in my regular day to day life. Or I hear something somewhere in a movie, in a show, in a video, or something, and I reference it, or I mimic it, or I recreate it in my real day to day life. And it gets such a good response, and I love the way that the I was gonna say I love the way that the scene played out, but I love that I love how the events turned, or whatever, and I continue to recreate that, redo that, reuse that phrase, that sentence in my life as it fits appropriately because I love it. You are a collection of the things that you love, and you mimic and recreate those things on a day to day basis based off of, how you get responses to those things and whatnot. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I sound crazy, but I feel like that is one way maybe to go about looking at it, but it makes sense to me. Does it make sense to you, or do I sound like absolutely fried or something right now? I feel like if you sit and you think about it, it makes sense. Like you see something, it intrigues you. You do it, you like it so much, you do it again and again and again and again. And it becomes part of you because you love it so much. You do that with everything and anything, as long as it works. Because if it doesn't work, why are you going to keep doing it? Because you love it? Ah. Gotcha. Gotcha. Right. So, I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. I love it though. I love it though. Oh man, why did he turn into the person he is? Case study. Somebody do a case study on that man. If you get it, you get it. And if you don't, I'm sorry. I'm talking about Kanye West. I love it though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you get it, you get it. Whatever. I feel like I've been a little bit all over the place, but I definitely had a fun time sharing my thoughts, my life, and experiences with you. Thank you so much for joining me in my little corner of the internet. If you'd like to see more of me, my socials will be linked in the description below. But this is all I have for you for now. Until next time, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye!